episode of the Mind of a Renegade podcast, where I, your host, Renegade X, talk about things pertaining to real life, whether it be current events, psychology stuff, and etc. But this episode, it will be a deep topic. And I want to talk about this because this has been on my mind for a long time. So whoever's listening, maybe there are some of you out there that can relate to this. I was originally going to title this podcast My Experience of Being the Black Sheep of My Family, but I really wanted it to have more of a general feeling, so that's why I titled it My Experience of Being a Black Sheep, or The Experience of Being a Black Sheep. So I have my notes, so forgive me for long pauses and or other things that will happen. And I'm going to do my best to break this down and explain it in good detail and etc. So, what does the term black sheep mean? Black sheep is a saying that describes a member of a group who is different from the rest, especially a family member who does not fit in. So picture a field full of white sheep, and then you put this one black sheep in the herd. It's gonna stick out, it's gonna stand out, and it's different. So, for those that don't know, I am an introvert. I am an INFJ, for those that are familiar with the Myers-Briggs personality test, which means introverted, initiative, feeling, and judging. Basically, INFJs, we have a deep thoughtfulness, a unique point of view. We can read people, we feel emotions, like we feel them more, harder than what other people can. I suggest for anyone who hasn't done this, do the Myers-Briggs test and figure out your personality type and study it. You can learn a lot about yourself and other people. So yes, I'm introverted. Extroverted, that's more like people that's open, talkative, like do a lot of activity and stuff like that. Introverts were quiet. We express it through listening, subtle gestures, presence. We don't like, to be around big groups of people like extroverts like to do. We like to be to ourselves, and why? Because when we're in a lot of social interactions, it drains us faster compared to extroverts. When an introverted person withdraws and beats to themselves, there's people out there that don't see that as aloof, like they don't want to be around people, like they hate people and stuff and etc. Number 3, when it comes to being a black sheep around such a extroverted society, we are more pressured to, they pressure us to talk more, come out of our shell. They ask us, why are you so quiet? Now my experience with that is, there have been moments when I try to get my complete thoughts out, but I get being interrupted, talked over, or the person is not listening and or doing something else like on their phone and stuff. It's not that I'm shy, cause when I was a kid, I ain't gonna lie, I think I was shy, but it's just folks don't care, especially in this day and age. Like, they don't really want to have deep, meaningful connections, because communication to me, that's a two-way street. It's not just one person just talking and the other person is listening, but the other person does not get a chance to say anything. Like, I don't mind listening when it comes to conversations, but I have my own thoughts too. Like, there are things that I want to say. See, society, if you're viewed, just like this quiet person that wants their peace, wants to be alone and stuff, and you're not this extroverted, loud, boisterous, social butterfly, you're deemed as boring. You're looked at as something is wrong with you. Like you're different, like you're odd, weird. And I don't like that. Because everybody is different. And I want to go back to the being pressured to be more outgoing. I have tried that multiple times throughout my life. And do you know what happens? It feels weird to me because I'm not being my authentic self. And it's like I said, they don't listen and etc. So I'm just quiet. Just a whole presence. And then there's sometimes I just don't feel like talking. There are just times I just want to be there and enjoy the peace and enjoy the present moment. Then there are just times I don't have anything to say. I'm in listening mode, observing things. Alright, so now I'm finna go into more about my experience, and this is just basically me opening up. So I'm not used to doing this. It's gonna be a little difficult, but I'll try the best I can. So yes, I have been an introvert since I was a child. Some say I was shy. I just didn't know a lot of things, of course, because I was a child. I have social anxiety, believe it or not. And that, just a random social anxiety, it's just annoying. And just anxiety in general is just annoying. But that's just one of the reasons why I feel like a black sheep to my family, friends, and just in general. Now, for those that don't know, I have asthma. I was diagnosed with it since I was a child. So, growing up, I have had respiratory issues. I couldn't go outside because of the breathing issues and the pollen. So anytime, in school, when it was PE, everyone else is outside except for me. And I'm just sitting inside. And then also, during that time, I had to take breathing treatments. For those that don't know what that is, it's a device to where it's supposed to help your respiratory issues and asthma and stuff like that. So you take like this medication. It's called albuterol, is what it's called. That's the medical term for it. You put one or two, whatever you really want or two. You put that in a, little container. And then you either put on a mask or a mouthpiece. To me, I use a mask. And you just breathe in and breathe out, and it's supposed to help with the congestion and other things. So while I was doing that, throughout school, when I had the mask on, it's just all the children in the classroom, they were looking at me like it's strange, like I'm weird or something. So all of that, the social anxiety, being raised differently, acting differently, like that. I know sometimes I try to fit in, try to be popular. It did not work. And I honestly just felt all of that right there. It just not fitting in and all that stuff. Feel like I did not fit in anywhere. I just felt like a freak of nature. Like nobody cared about me. Like nobody loved me and stuff like that. And it wasn't just school that I felt like that in. I felt like that around my family. Because I'm gonna give you guys one example. Majority of my family, they're into sports. I'm not into sports. I tried watching it, did not like it. I'm a nerd. I like anime, video games, reading books, like psychology and stuff like that. Computers, graphic design, that's the stuff I like. So when I'm in conversation, they're talking about sports, I'm just there. I don't know what they're talking about. I can't give an input or anything, and it just feels weird. And I feel like a large majority of my family, they're extroverted. Always talking, always doing something, and me, I'm just there. I mean, I'll say a little something every now and then, but it's just, I don't know, I'm just quiet, and sometimes I don't have anything to say. But then at the same time, I do have a lot to say, but when I try to get it out, seems like folks don't want to listen, or they don't care. And then sometimes I feel like they wouldn't understand, so I'll just keep my mouth shut. And another example is my father. I look up to him. I definitely looked up to him when I was a child. To me, my father is the coolest thing in the world. And don't get me wrong, I love my other family members too. I do. But when I was younger, I truly wanted to be like my father. Cool, charismatic, makes people laugh, strong. Always knew what to say, always knew what to do. But looking at how I am right now, I ain't even nothing like him. Introverted. Sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. I'm physically disabled. I got the asthma that messes me up. I got a vertigo. For those that don't know what that is, it's a thing that goes on in your head in the inner ear that makes you dizzy and feel off balance. I got that. And then my immune system ain't really strong, so I be getting sick often. And I'm looking around at my other male family members, my uncle, my grandfather. See, they got their strengths. And I honestly feel like I'm not even close to that at all. And I just feel different from everybody. Feel like I don't fit in. I'm just trying the best I can, but I get sad and depressed just thinking about all that. Just feeling like I'm not enough. And sometimes I just ask God, like, why am I even here? What is my purpose? And I know my friends and family love me. If for any of my friends and family that happen to come across this podcast episode, I truly appreciate y'all. I truly do love y'all, don't get me wrong. Even though I don't express it in the best way. But I don't know. It's just things that I went through in my life that have made me the way that I am. Been through pain, sadness, anger. Boy, been through a lot. I have been through a lot. And it just sometimes I feel like the experiences I go through, I feel like I'm going through it alone. But I know I'm not going through it alone because there are a lot of people out here in this world that feel the way that I feel. I got a lot to say, but feels like no one wants to hear it. I'll be trying to understand other people, but I feel like no one wants to understand me. But so I'll just keep going. Keep living life as best as I can here. Make sure my relationship with God is good. And just let things naturally happen. So yeah, anyone that is listening, friends or family, that's what I've been feeling like for a long time. I'll be doing the best I can and try to better myself, but it feels like I'm not enough. And I honestly constantly feel like I am not enough. There have been times to where I did not feel appreciated, loved, and etc. There have been times I felt like that. Just, yeah, I really don't know what else to say, but yeah, I honestly feel like the black sheep. Or a black sheep, excuse me. I just feel so different and am different that I don't think I fit in. So yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I feel like I need a drink right now. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this podcast episode. For anyone that feels the way I feel. And to me, since I'm a Christian man, keep praying to God, talk to God, read the Bible. Or if you're not a Christian like me, seek some type of spiritual guidance. Get therapy if you can. Talk to your loved ones, talk to them about how you feel. For me, myself, and there will be moments I want to try to, but I will just let it naturally happen. So, thank you for listening to another episode of the Mod of a Renegade podcast. There will be more episodes in the future. Check out my other socials in the description and the comment section. And for my fellow introverts out there, look, there ain't nothing wrong with being an introvert. Ain't nothing wrong with being different. I know it don't feel like, like, man, I don't belong anywhere, but, I appreciate your uniqueness because I am slowly trying to learn to accept my uniqueness. But yeah, that's all I gotta say. Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a blessed one. And I'll see y'all in the next podcast episode. Peace.